Hey guys, welcome back to another pickup video. Today I'm going to be going over my pickups for November 2019. And just full disclosure here, there's not going to be a big Black Friday haul. I got a couple of deals that were on sale, but I actually targeted the Vinegar Syndrome sale this year for Black Friday again. So that will be coming in the next couple of weeks when those titles arrive. But this actually was a good deal from Amazon, 13 bucks for the UHD of Braveheart. Big upgrade here over my original Paramount DVD. And this is one of my favorite films of all time. I haven't opened it up here yet, but I can't wait to get into this and see how it looks. A 4K master with HDR. I'm sure this looks fantastic, and I can't wait to toss that DVD aside and replace it with this. And I was waiting for it to go on sale, and it finally did. So big upgrade here for me on 4K. Brand new acquisition here for brand new addition to my collection is the complete series of Freaks and Geeks by Shout Factory. Canceled way before its time. Great series. I think it only ran like 2 seasons. And a little side note here, it does take place in the Metro Detroit area, which is where I'm from. And actually the school that this was, well, not shot at, but it takes place at a school called McKinley High School, which isn't a real local school, but the school that Paul Feig was trying to emulate in this series was Chippewa Valley High School, which is right down the road from me here. And they mentioned a couple of bars. The Rusty Nail is also a couple miles from here. And there's a music shop called Huber and Breeze, which is, again, just right down the road here. So lots of local references in here, but that's not why I love it. It's just a great series, good coming of age kind of thing, maybe more of a modern version of Wonder Years for a lot of us that maybe came up on that a little late. But 13 bucks, I think this was, from Hamilton Book. Great sale. Glad to have this in my collection for the first time. Big pickup here from Second & Charles. This is the 3-pack on Blu Ray with the slipcover for 12 bucks. American History X, History of Violence, and the director's cut of True Romance. You get just the movie-only editions here. True Romance is the director's cut, but there are the discs. And I've seen this go on Amazon and eBay for 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. I got it with the slip, again, for a song, Second & Charles. Sometimes you get good things there, sometimes you don't. This is 12, 13 bucks for this really nice release here. So that was a great find, and definitely glad to have that. Another Amazon sale here. The Toxic Avenger 4-pack from Troma. And I was going back and forth on getting the Steelbook from Zavvi, spending 20, 30, 40 bucks on that on eBay, or for a little less than that, I'd get all 4 films. So I opted for this. I think the first film is exactly the same in this set as it is in that Steelbook. This just has the other 3 films. Really only bought it for the first one, but to get the other 3, I figured why not. I still haven't seen part 3 or 4 yet, so even though part 3 is the R-rated version on here, I don't think the unrated cut exists on Blu-ray. I'm happy to pick them all up for a really good deal. Can't pass up a decent deal. And honestly, Toxic Avenger is probably the best thing Troma's ever done, so really nice addition there as well. FYE exclusive Steelbook Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And I don't know if the deal's still going on, but they were running this for at least the past month or so. You buy 2 Steelbooks, you get them at 20% off. This was marked at, I want to say $17. It rang up for $14, and then they applied the discount to it. So for around $11 or so, I couldn't pass this up. Not my favorite in the series, but this does complete my collection. And it's a really cool looking steelbook. At the very least, I get something that looks decent, even though the film itself isn't all that great. Another Amazon buy here. The only Criterion pickup for this week or for this month, and it really didn't partake in the Barnes & Noble sale, but this is It's a Mad World Criterion edition. I've seen prices on this fluctuate. I don't know if it just tends to go in and out of stock or if it's going out of print. I'm not saying it is, I don't know. But for about 20 bucks, I figured to pick it up now before it gets back up to the $30, $40 range. Great classic film. Haven't seen it in a long time, but it's a really nice addition to my Criterion collection. And again, I wanted to grab it before something crazy happens and I can't get it. Some special labels now besides Criterion. RoboCop, the super set from Arrow Video. Actually busted this open last night. Really nice set. It's this came in the steelbook form or in the hardbox form. Both limited editions from Arrow. I think Amazon's already sold out of the steelbook, and who knows how many copies of this they actually printed. So there's the director's cut disc, and the other disc here, I believe that would be the theatrical cut. And so it's R-rated, and the director's cut is unrated, or I think it's been referred to as the X-rated cut. It's just much more violent than the R-rated cut. Same scan as the MGM release from a while ago. It's like a 4K scan, so it's not a brand new scan, but it does look great, sounds great. Tons and tons of special features on here. 2 discs full of stuff, plus the hard box, plus there's a poster in here as well. Plus there's a little booklet, which Arrow always includes in their limited boxes like this. And this is actually the artwork from the Steelbook as well. So great release. I'm sure once this goes out of print, they'll probably end up doing a standard movie-only edition or a non-limited edition. I don't know what that would include. So hopefully that comes out for everyone that may miss out on this. It's a great set. Pick it up while you can. eBay purchase here. This is Blood Rage on Blu Ray. This is one I already had on Blu Ray, but I did not have the limited edition. So there's a slip. There's the case art. 3-disc edition here. 2 Blu-rays, 1 DVD. And the original one that came out was a Blu-ray, a DVD, and they both had the hard home video version of this. This actually contains 3 cuts of the film: the original theatrical cut, the hard home video version, and then a composite cut, which combines both elements from both of those to make a longer cut of the same film. So you're gonna get the best of both worlds. Haven't watched this yet. Technically, it's a Thanksgiving Day movie. As you can see, it's not cranberry sauce. Really fun 80s slasher, very gory, very cheesy, very over the top. Lots of fun. For a blind buy, which it was for me originally, I can't recommend this enough. Limited edition is a little hard to come by, can be a little pricey. I got it on eBay for a good find, maybe 25, 30 bucks. That's an ideal price for it. You might spend a little more, but this is long out of print and a very, very welcome addition to my Arrow video collection. I replaced the movie-only edition with this limited set, and I'm glad I was able to find it. Let's see here. Suspiria on 4K from Synapse. Cannot wait to get into this and see how this compares to their Blu-ray from a couple years ago. This is true 4K resolution with HDR. I do believe it has HDR. It does. And the other one was just a 4K scan on Blu-ray. So this should be leaps and bounds better than that, which is hard to believe because that Blu-ray looked fantastic. So really excited to see how good this looks. I've heard great things about it. And this is a film that just looks good on its own. It was shot with a special tricolor roll of film, from what I remember, like a red, blue, and yellow striped film. I don't remember what it's called. It's not Technicolor, but something that really hasn't been done a whole lot. So this movie's always looked really, really good. But I'm guessing it looks even better now in 4K. Synapse did a great job with the last release. I can only assume they did an even better job with this one. So looking forward to this. 2 more titles here. Dracula on Blu-ray. This is the 70s edition starring Frank Langella. And this has 2 different versions of the movie. I believe they're the same exact cut, but different color timings. I think the theatrical version was in color, and then they desaturated it for home video or for other subsequent releases. And this is the first time in a long while it's been released in both. I've heard the color version just looks fantastic. Frank Langella is a fantastic character actor, and Dracula is one of those great stories. They've been making movies about Dracula ever since film was a thing. So really excited to check this out. I heard it's great. I'll probably watch both versions, but I'll watch the color one first. And really nice addition to my Scream Factory collection. Got a nice little slip here. It's sealed, and Scream Factory lately just can't do any wrong. So I'm really looking forward to digging into this. Last one here from Scream Factory. I will get more into this in a minute, but this is the new release of Big Trouble in Little China, one of John Carpenter's greatest films, one of my favorite films of all time. I opted for the super duper big release that comes with this, a steelbook, a vinyl, and a big black case and some posters. So I'll show the rest of that in just a minute here. But again, this is not a new scan. Just a bunch of new extra material for Scream Factory's release, and probably the ultimate release of this film until maybe a 4K comes down the pipe at some time. So who knows? But let me go ahead and get the rest of the set and show you what's in there. All right, so there's the box. This, of course, kind of sets on top like that. Here's the 7-inch, I believe it's a 7-inch LP or 7-inch EP, I guess. Not a big vinyl guy, but this is a couple of songs redone from the soundtrack by John Carpenter and his son. As you know, he does the music for the vast majority of his films. And then there's the steelbook. And there are a couple of posters in here as well. It has this artwork and that artwork. I'm probably going to end up selling the posters, make some of my money back. But it's a really nice set. Definitely worth the money. I'll keep one of these sealed, probably keep this sealed and maybe open this one here. But yeah, I can't wait to dig into this and watch one of the greatest films of all time. And here's the rest of it here. So here's the rest of the box where the steelbook kind of sits in there. Got a nice glare going on because this is still in this packaging. Nice Scream Factory, familiar artwork from their steelbooks. Again, here's the vinyl with 2 tracks on it, 1 per side. And of course this fits in like perfectly. There's our green 45. As they kind of just cut, you can kind of see the grooves in it. So 1 song per side. I'll play this eventually. Probably John Carpenter's score is always really cool. He's as good as a composer and musician as he is a director, in my opinion. So yeah, there's a look at the new release from Scream Factory, Big Trouble in Little China. Can't wait to dig into that. Can't wait to dig into the rest of the stuff. The only thing in this pile I watched so far is RoboCop, so I'm kind of curious to get into the rest of this, as well as my other backlog of stuff to get through. So that's my haul for this month. Next month I'll have a nice little pile from Vinegar Syndrome, and I'll see what else I can pick up to show out to everybody. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.